Hello, everyone. Tom Pounder here, and this is the Digital in 5 show. This is where I take 5 minutes to talk about digital tools and trends that are happening around the world and apply it into our ministry context. And today we're going to talk about Zoom, and we're going to talk about how Zoom has proven to be a great ministry tool, but some lessons learned as we're starting to get to know Zoom a little bit more. As you know, video conferencing is all the rave right now. Everyone's using video conferencing, and Zoom is by far and away the most popular tool to use for businesses, for schools, and for ministries. And so Zoom is by far and away the clear winner here. They actually went, their high for the most active daily users per month was 10 million before the coronavirus hit. Now their highest is 200 million in a single month daily active users. They went from 10 million to 200 million. So Zoom is by far and away the clear winner here. And so what are some of the lessons learned that we can get from Zoom? Well, one of the lessons that we can learn from this is that security is key. A lot of people just set up a Zoom account and then share the Zoom link and don't put any kind of password or any kind of security in on it. And what they've been discovering is that there are Zoom bombers out there, and they will disrupt your meeting, whether it's a prayer meeting or whether it's a Bible study that you're doing. Whatever it is, they're going to look to bombard it, Zoom bombing it, and share a whole bunch of inappropriate stuff, say a bunch of inappropriate things. We've had it happen for my ministry, and we've heard it happen all over the world about Zoom bombers coming in. So put security measures in place. Set up a password, or even create a waiting room. Just doing those two things alone will help you very much prevent Zoom bombers from coming in. Again, I love the waiting room. I don't like setting up a password because it's an extra step that you have to do to share information with someone. So I just like sharing the link with people and then having a waiting room where I can just put them in the waiting room, or I have to let them in. Actually, if they're a Zoom bomber and I let them in by accident, I can put them back into the waiting room. So security is key. You want to make sure that you're really secure on there. That's the first lesson. The second lesson learned in regards to student ministry is that middle schoolers respond a little bit better than high schoolers. Now, that just may be my experience, but I have a feeling that middle school ministries all over the world are responding better than high school ministries. Middle school students are really looking for something to do. They're limited in what they can do, and they don't have as many freedoms that high school students do. Even in a coronavirus-filled world, they still have some restrictions from their parents. And so middle schoolers, when they have the opportunity to get on a Zoom call, are more likely to respond. We've seen higher attendance than we would for a high school meeting. So middle schoolers are much more able to respond, and they will respond. So really tap into that. Really use this time as an opportunity to invest in your middle school ministry. The third thing that we've discovered is that you got to keep the lessons short. A lot of the lessons that we used to be able to share when you're sharing in person with students, you can kind of go on and on and on. I mean, well, you don't want to go too on, but you can go on because you can do different things in person. When you're online, kids are distracted. They've got multiple screens up on their laptops, or they're checking different things on their phones or tablets while they're actually on the Zoom call with you. So keep the lessons short. You don't have to go really long here. Keep them to 15, 20 minutes. I mean, that's at the most. Be really short, be brief, engage in discussion, use discussion questions a lot here. You want to keep them engaged as best you can, but keep your lessons shorter so that they're more effective and you keep the attention span of your students. And lastly, Zoom is a proven, legitimate tool. Hey, listen, we're going to go back to normal in some way, but we're never going to go back to normal. We can use video conferencing tools like Zoom long term. You don't have to, just because you're able to meet in person again one day, doesn't mean you have to stop using Zoom. you'll be able to use Zoom to do leaders meetings, to do parents meetings, to do online Bible studies, maybe with just a small group. You can use Zoom as an online tool now that you didn't even think that you could use before. So I would really encourage you to think, okay, how am I going to create a long-term strategy using video conferencing tools like Zoom down the road? Because it is a proven tool that is being effective. You're able to have ministry now because of Zoom. And just because you're able to meet in person doesn't mean that you should turn it off. Keep using Zoom. It's a legitimate tool. Okay, so those are the 4 lessons learned I've gotten out of Zoom so far just in using it in the time that I've been using it. But I'd be really curious to hear what you're learning from it. So if you're watching this on YouTube or on the Digital Bootcamp Facebook group, definitely put a comment in the comment section below. If you're listening to this on iTunes or on Spotify, definitely let's carry this conversation on more. Hit me up on Twitter. I live on Twitter. I love Twitter. My Twitter handle is @TAPounder. Send me a comment. I'd love to talk to you more about this and other things. And always, guys, as always, you can get all this content at ymsidekick.com. I've got all my YouTube videos. I've got the information about Digital Bootcamp, the Facebook group. I've got blogs and podcasts on student ministry, social media stuff, and digital and online ministry stuff. So you can find it all there, and I'd love for you to connect there as well. All right, heroes. Well, thanks so much for joining me. I hope you enjoyed it, and I'll talk to you very soon. Have a great week, everyone.